welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. Today I'm so happy to be showing you a real Valentino t-shirt from their collaboration with Undercover. So let's get into it. Oh, and hey, before I forget, subscribe to my channel. If you're into this video, you'll probably be into a bunch of my other ones, so get into it. So first things first, let's take a look at the retail bag. It's a fairly large one, measuring about 17 inches by about 12 inches. You can see it's your typical Ziploc top bag. Centered in there, you have the Valentino logo, that V in the oval. Take a look at how the left side is much thicker than the right side, and how the bottom of that V touches so perfectly to the bottom of the oval. Up in the top right, we get a rectangular white sticker with rounded edges, and it says Valentino X Undercover VU, UFO print T, small, and then you've got your colorway green and black, and then a barcode with model number underneath. The back of the bag is blank until you get to the bottom, where you get your typical warning text down there, and then a recycling symbol off to the right of that. Now let's take a look at the retail tags. So these are rectangular tags with rounded edges, and they're printed vertically. And then they've got embossed text on them. So you've got Valentino first. You can feel each of those. Take a look at that font, that spacing, etc. Then a bit of space, and you've got In Conversation With, all in caps. And then Undercover, Jun Takahashi. And you get a little underlined U up in the top right of that Undercover there. And then printed underneath all of this is this green guy right here in the suit. You can see that's very clean print, very clear. If you saw that and it was like pixelated, weird, bleeding colors, that'd be something to be worried about. And these are thick, textured cardboard tags. You can kind of see they've got these little vertical lines almost going through them. Very interesting texture to those. The back side of this one is a bit smoother, it feels like, but it still has that texture coming through a bit, and it's got the rest of this guy right here. So it's a guy with a UFO over his face. And take a look at those colors there, the purple, the blue, the greens, all of that. And then we've got one more tag here. One side is blank, and the other side has a sticker at the bottom. So first we've got a model number, and that should match the model number that was on the sticker on the bag. And you can see off to the right there, you have your size in the middle, small. The rest of this honestly doesn't mean a lot to me, but it's interesting to see and interesting to match up against any other examples you may see. Now let's look at the brand tag at the back of the neck. So it is a sort of long, skinny, rectangular tag, embroidered. As you can see, it's kind of this satin white finish with black embroidery, and it's Valentino. And underneath, Made in Italy, centered, all in caps. And you see that is stitched in with a horizontal white stitch in the top right and top left corners. And you can also see a little bit of texture coming in at both the top and bottom of this tag. And also, you will see there's quite a bit more space above the Valentino than there is underneath. So I would say that the Valentino is centered here as far as the entire tag, but then the Made in Italy is underneath, giving it much less sort of space down there than up here. And if we turn that over, we can see the back side of it where you've got black and then this kind of off-white color to the text. Now let's look at the fabric tags. So these are stitched in from the back with a single dark green stitch, same color as the shirt. And these are just simple rectangular tags, no loops or anything to them. At the top you have a page number, right, 1 of 5 in this case, Valentino logo right there, and then your model number, which is going to match everyone else we've seen so far. And you've got a line that takes up the whole width of this thing, and you get into your size information. You got a bit of space there, and then you get your washing symbols, and then fabrication information, as well as where it was made. On the back of that, we've got some more fabrication information, and then washing instructions, and it looks like 3 languages. Now we're on page 3, and we get more washing instructions in a few more languages. And finally, on the back of that, it looks like we're finishing up those washing instructions, and then we get a bit of blank space. And interestingly, here we get something that we don't see very often, which is a production date, right? We get an exact date, in this case, May 6, 2019, so you can match that up to make sure that that's the right sort of season for this piece. Then you get your EAC symbol, your address information, and that same type of information in your Asian languages. Nothing on the back of that one. And then you get a QR code with your sort of CERTA logo type of thing, certification. If you want to look into that, that's a great way to kind of look that up and make sure that your shirt is legit. And this has a little cut symbol up there, and their address at the bottom. And on the very back of that, you can start to see that RFID coming through. So if you've got one and it's got the QR code, don't just be like, oh great, because you got to make sure there actually is RFID in there, which you can see. And these tags are these somewhat glossy, sort of satin white tags. All of them are, until you get to that RFID tag, which is more of a matte, plasticky white. Now let's take a look at the print. So the single color prints here, they are quite thin and rough feeling, so they don't feel plasticky, they don't feel rubbery. You can kind of still feel the texture of the shirt through them. And you can see they are quite clean without too many rough edges. However, once you get into the color print, you can feel it's a bit thicker, still on the rougher side, not rubbery or anything. And it seems like the white was put on top, potentially, of the red and black here, because it kind of sticks out a bit more and is a bit more textured than the print underneath. And another thing to note is that this style of shirt has reinforcement right here at the back of the neck, which you can see with this stitch going along right here. So if yours doesn't have that, definitely something to worry about. Now let's talk about fit. I would consider this to very much fit true to size, with a pit-to-pit on this size small shirt coming in at just about 18.5 inches. So that is how you tell the difference between a real and a fake Valentino t-shirt. Take a look at one of these other videos that's up on screen, subscribe if you like it, give a like to this video because that is super helpful to me, and I will see you next time.